Dave Filoni talked to George Lucas and was like, tell me more about Yoda and the hut building. And apparently like that's compulsive. And I love the idea of like Yoda in like on Coruscant being like, oh man, if only there were some mud and sticks right now.
All right, welcome to This Week in Nerd History, a podcast where we take a look at all the fun, dumb, nerdy stuff from the past, present, future. I'm Mike. Joining me as always, we got AJ and Sal. How you guys doing?
Great.
Excellent.
What are we talking about this week? We got Sal's going to take us through Absolute Green Arrow, which I'm very curious about. Backrooms is out now. I should probably at least know this part, but just to learn a little bit more about the Backrooms and Backrooms, the movie coming out. AJ, you saw Obsession?
Yeah.
All right, so I've just had the Crossfire commercial stuck in my head for a day or so.
Yeah.
The most intense
Nice.
toy commercial.
It's sometime in the future. The ultimate challenge. Crossfire. Crossfire. You'll get caught up in it.
It's so intense.
It's so intense.
By the way, the game sucked.
A
Yeah,
game
the
that
game is
like
terrible.
is not. It's worse
Nothing like
than
this.
Hungry Hippos.
Yeah, it's worse than Hungry. At least with the Hungry Hippos, you got hippos.
Yeah.
Right.
This is nothing.
It's just loud ball bearings. That's all it is. It's just, how can we make these ball bearings as loud as possible and play this game for the short amount of time as possible?
Yeah, and you will lose them. It's on a piece of cardboard that a package would come in. It's lame.
I love the lore that they set up for this thing where it's just this like post-apocalyptic, like,
Fly in and there's fire everywhere.
yeah, that kid gets sent straight to hell afterwards for losing. There's clearly like, he's the bad guy. He's got the slicked back hair.
Yeah.
The good guy's got like the Judd
Bowl
Nelson
cut.
cut off gloves and everything.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Anyway,
it's unbelievable.
I had the song stuck in my head for no real reason.
That'll happen.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think I was caught in some sort of crossfire. And then,
Well, you will get caught up in it.
Yep.
it's true.
Crossfire.
And I did just send some kid to hell, so I was like, oh yeah, that's like this.
That's like that thing.
toy.
That's just like it.
From back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what was in the water in Hollywood at the time where it was like, hey, we need a song. You need a song? I'll get the most ripping song you ever heard in your life. What are we selling? Gummy bears?
Good, I'm gonna blow your fucking doors off. Hang on.
Hold on.
Seriously, like there are so many songs. There's so many shows that like I have absolutely no affinity for. Like shows that I actively did not like. Whose theme songs are some of my favorite of all time.
Yup. That's
You
the
know?
TV Time Warp.
Yeah.
Yeah, just those
absolutely.
theme songs are incredible. And also completely they over prepare you for a show that's an over glorified toy commercial.
Yeah. Be prepared to be let down instantaneously.
Yeah.
Yeah. We put all the money for all the elements of this intro, and there's
Yes.
$15 left to make this actual cartoon.
Yeah, like we farmed out the
For
animation
65
like
episodes.
Studio Ghibli, and then and it's made by Filmation, so it looks like it was made for like $1 and a handshake.
Yep. That reminds me, somebody left a comment last week when we said there was no Dukes of Hazzard cartoon. There was.
Was there? Oh no!
Yeah. I was like, holy shit. And it looks exactly what you think it would look. It looks like Scooby-Doo. Like
I pictured it
Scooby-Doo.
immediately.
Yep.
I was like, I know exactly what that show looks like. It looks like all of them. It looks like Mr. T's cartoon. It looks like the RoboCop cartoon. Like
It's
it looks like
exactly
all
that. I was like, oh, okay. This does exist. I think that's why, like, not that I expect it to be some sort of artistic take on the world of Dukes of Hazzard or something, where it's like this unique Spider-Verse or whatever.
Yeah.
But it just must have just blended in with all the other shit. And I was like,
Yeah, no, I just assumed based on the fact that, like, come on. Like, okay, so they made a Dukes of Hazzard cartoon, but they didn't make a Starsky and Hutch cartoon. Like, where's
Right.
the Good Times cartoon? Like, it's just, there's any number of cartoons. It's like, what was the decision there? And it was literally just like a coin flip. Like, there's so many shows that you're just like, really? And then there's other shows that like, make another one just like it. Don't like renew the show we made. Just do it again. Just do Scooby-Doo again, but he's a dune buggy. Do it again, but
Exactly
he's a shark.
yep.
Same
And
show.
The designs are so exactly the same that you could just put them all in one show, just like make it a big universe thing. I know they had some crossover stuff sometimes, but like just make them all the same. Who gives a shit at that point? You're just like,
They're so generic / on model with each other. You could create one now and create like an urban legend around it, like a lost Hanna-Barbera or Filmation cartoon.
Yeah.
And just go like, yeah, no, like they had a necktie of some kind so they can animate the head separate from the body. And like, is it any more outlandish than a sentient dune buggy and a group of kids who play music? Like, F you.
That would be fun to recreate. Like,
I'm thinking,
that style.
That's
It'd
what
be so.
like,
yeah. I mean, there's such like clear techniques behind it and stuff. Like you're saying, like the necktie, super limited animation.
Yeah.
You can fake so much stuff in like the animation software and stuff to make it feel like it's a cell.
Yep.
So there's like a little bit of shadow and stuff. And then like, there's so many fun things you could do with it. And like, just have it, sell it as like, yeah, this is a lost show.
Yeah, this was a cartoon from like 1981. You know, you pick a year that like, oh man, like I don't know everything about that period, you know, and just go, yeah, it came out to a limited audience. They showed it once when they launched Cartoon Network and then never again. That's how we have it.
The Lost MASH pilot.
You know, Game Changers does a thing for like a year from now. We should do our thing where it's like we launch a cartoon and then we create a rumor about it. And we're like, hey, here's something interesting. Like we discovered this thing, and then we can reveal this video after it's already been, you know, circulating. Where like Variety writes about it and they're like, oh my God, did you know about this cartoon? And we can make up a character that like invented it, you know, like some bemustached guy. Maybe I'm thinking maybe one of our grandparents could be the
22's
stand-in.
Skidoo.
Exactly.
I'm in. I like it. I like it a lot
And
already.
we just sell it and be like, here, this is a real thing. And just and of course we'd have to commission a theme song that like back then would
Bang,
suck. It would either be great or not. It's I guess it would have to be, yeah. Could do some really great stuff with that. You could also do like the animation trick where like, oh, that book's about to move and then something else moves instead and you're like, oh. Oh, looks like the floor's about to give out because there's a big square underneath Shaggy right there.
Yeah. It's like 6 shades lighter than everything else.
I like that stuff because it trains your kid brain. Like it makes you aware of like patterns and things. So children are like, even if they're not interested, I know so many people who are like so disinterested in, I thought like the Hollywood, like behind the scenes vacation of media would be such that everyone wants to know how the sausage is made for like every piece of media. But it turns out most people don't. But fighting against that problem, you condition children into like becoming animation experts by just like making them watch Scooby-Doo and being like, book's going to move, door's going to open, floor's going to give out. Like this person isn't who they say they are because they're wearing like a layer over themselves. Like, you know, just things that you just can't not notice. You know, even when you're watching something like Tiny Toon Adventures where I'm like, oh, it's the B Squad. Oh, it's the D Squad. Like there's 3 or 4 different animation teams making any number of animation sketches within the same 22 minutes of animation. Like, where you, oh man, it's these guys. This is going to be all over the place. I never forgot. I'm sure I brought it up before, but there's a moment where like, because there's some where I'm like, oh, that's like a model that particular animator uses. And you'll see that like all the Warner Brothers animations, like from Looney Tunes to Tiny Toons to Animaniacs and stuff like that, like where it's like, oh, this guy did that one segment. But the D or F Squad, like I remember Hampton is concerned he's going to have to get his ass kicked by Montana Max, and Montana Max, like the animation was so like we're not going to change, we're not going to move the camera in this scene, but Monty needs to come in and he needs to whisper in Hampton's ear, so we'll just make him into a snake. And like they don't make him into a snake like he turns into a snake. That would make more sense than having him just Mr. Fantastic, like bend into the frame, overlap himself, and then like get over into Hampton's ear. And I'm like, what is happening? Like there's some rules in this world. I don't think Monty is the Mask. And he never does it again. He didn't do it before. He doesn't do it again. It's just like, but that animator was like, I don't know. We got to get it done. Just smear it.
Stuff like that is such like I'm sure it's just like overtaxed animation studio where it's just like we don't have anybody else to do it, so just grab whoever can do shots and stuff. But like ideally you know the strengths and weaknesses of your animation team, so you're not going to give like the junior animator like the hardest shot. Like you plan it out accordingly, but like you definitely run into situations where it's like we don't have enough people. and we have all these shots left, and like the junior animator's gonna have to have a difficult shot, and you get it back, and you're like, okay, this is
we'll
not
do what
working.
we
I'm
can
so
do.
sorry. Yeah,
Yeah.
run into that a
I'll
lot.
let that
It's-
slide.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's like it's a nice cold sweat kind of thing, because it's like like with tight deadlines too. It's kind of the first time you're seeing it, and you realize like, oh no, this person isn't the right fit for this shot, and there's not enough time to fix it, so you have to like just slap a bunch of caveats in the notes, be like, we're working on this one, it's a work in progress, and that kind of shit.
Please don't give us any more notes. We have plenty internally.
We have so many notes.
Yeah, my goodness. I want to hear about
Green Arrow.
Yeah,
Oh, sure. Well,
because I like all these. Like whenever you get into these characters, they're all like crazy and insane, and I know nothing about them, so it's super interesting.
and that's great. And I love that like Green Arrow's having a moment, and like 10 people buy the regular Green Arrow series, or they do when it's on sale, which of course it isn't, because regular Green Arrow is like a niche character. I'm sorry, everybody. I know. Buy his books. But yeah, this is absolute Green Arrow. This is from a duo. Raphael Albuquerque does the art. Albuquerque has done a number of amazing comics over the years. I think one of his biggest comics work is he drew a series called American Vampire. The writer is Pornsak Pichetshote, who is I want to say Taiwanese creator, and just has big opinions about the world of the day. Because okay, so as a quick backdrop to the Absolute Universe, there's this like space devil named Darkseid, and he ends up making another planet that has like his essence infused into it. And so since he's evil, as he does, as one does, when they get like when they've lived for eons and they're kind of like getting into their creative phase. Which is exactly what happened. He's like, I want to be creative, and everyone's like, "Don't, Darkseid."
I'm sick of doing all this bad shit. I want to make something.
Yeah, and it'll be fucked. And so he makes this other Earth, and it's with his essence in it. So everything's kind of like bent towards evil and misery and death and stuff. And so all the new interpretations are presumably from kind of like a darker place. And the idea is really like from a creative standpoint, it's just like, let's just strip all like the stuff, all the baggage and accoutrements that like make a character that you think make the character that and like rebuild them from the ground up and see if they still maintain the like integrity of the character, like Martian Manhunter. He's a Martian. I don't know if he hunts men. He certainly hasn't in any of the times that I've ran into him in the comics. But but in this one, it's like, okay, so there's a guy named John who is a police detective who ends up in like a public terrorist attack, and he survives, and he has like this survivor's guilt, and he's got this wife and this kid, and he's suddenly seeing this big green, like crazy looking entity that only he can see and hear, called the Martian. Or at least he refers to him as a Martian. And
it's called schizophrenia.
Yeah, well, and it's also brought on by him smoking up. And it's just like, it's a completely different idea. It's just a completely different idea for Martian Manhunter. And it's a fantastic book that's beautifully drawn and well written. But it's nothing like Martian Manhunter. It's just not. From even the first issue, they call him the Martian Mind Effer. And I'm like, okay, that's his name? And they're like, no, that's not his name. That's just what he's calling himself in that one issue. Don't worry about it. But this is the kind of interpretations you're thinking of. With Green Arrow, there's still a guy in there who's shooting arrows, and they're green. So, I mean, like, the fundamentals are there.
That counts.
Stop lying to us.
Yeah. But we saw in like a one-shot the guy who normally is Green Arrow in the main universe, Oliver Queen, who's like he's a billionaire who came from humble beginnings and was trapped on an island. You may have seen the show. Most of that's pretty much canon, but at least the basic stuff. He was murdered years ago by a weapon of the establishment that they call Hawkman, who is more or less the Hawkman that you would know from the comics, except he's been manipulated by the dark forces that run this Earth and made him into like kind of a tool of the establishment. And so when you first see Oliver Queen, he's been assassinated. And then you pick up this book and we're still learning more about Oliver Queen. I'm like, motherfucker's dead. And then Green Arrow starts showing up and he is executing billionaires with his green arrows. And like his opening salvo is he shows up at this like dude's place who is talking about how like he's done these horrible things. He's donated $300 million to super PACs to like help the worst of the worst take over the country. And then his bodyguard is assassinated and all of his people are assassinated by green arrows. He himself, is under attack and he says, I'll do whatever you want. Just tell me what you want. He says, I want you to be an example. And just appears out of nowhere and then assassinates him. And it's just like the Green Arrow visage is essentially the same thing as the Green Arrow, but he has like this crazy looking death mask on. And so the approach, at least the pitch, has been, what if Green Arrow were Jason Voorhees? Like, what if he were a slasher who just chased after people who are ruining the world? And that's a really awesome, neat idea.
I like that.
If like your red herring is a dead man, is Green Arrow back from the dead? Are any of Oliver Queen's inner circle all trading the mantle of the Green Arrow so that Green Arrow can be in two different places at once? We're also introduced to Dinah Lance, who is Oliver Queen's like once and future beloved. She's like also a hero in her own right, named Black Canary. In this world, she is a like highly trained badass who is stuck in a economically desperate situation where she has to take care of her father. And so she's taking these like bodyguard jobs for the worst people on the planet. And she's just like, I hate my job. I hate this, like the position I'm in. And then Green Arrow attacks and she's got to actually protect them from Green Arrow. And so she's in this kind of like dilemma, do I do the best that I can for my father or do I do what's best for my morality? And so that's the book. And it's like, oh, that's interesting and cool. And she had a relationship with Oliver Queen, and we find out about like how Queen made his money and his relationship with his business partner after he was assassinated and after the business partner was assassinated. It's just like a lot of really cool stuff. And then we got a couple of suspects and, just I like the idea because I don't like horror movies. I find them frustrating because you're basically taking like this supernatural murderer and unleashing them on people who didn't ask for it. Like, how about a gaggle of teenagers whose crime is being young and happy? They gotta die. And I'm like, that sucks. And then eventually one of them goes through, like a holocaust of problems until they maybe don't die until they do in the sequel. And so it's just a misery fest for me. But if you said, oh no, I'm going to like make him into a killer of death merchants and evil people, I'm like, oh yeah, no, I'll watch that for 10. I'll watch that for a couple hours.
He's like a Dexter.
Yeah. But like, yeah. Dexter,
Did
Dexter
that just ruin
really,
it for you?
No, because I don't love Dexter, but like I get it. Dexter's also like completely insane. Now, Dexter's like his own thing. This is more like if Freddy Krueger were not we're not anything like Freddy Krueger. Like just a poor person who hated like somebody like Freddy Krueger, but without all the child involvement, like all the other stuff that makes Freddy Krueger such a massive creep. Throw all that out. Just a utility worker who had a dead end job, who hated his life, and then burned to death. And he's like, "Fuck everybody! Like, fuck the establishment!" Like that's kind of fun. I'd watch that. And that's kind of what Green Arrow is. I mean, it's a very layman interpretation of what the Green Arrow idea is being presented by Pinchet Show, but it's still fun.
Thanks for the breakdown. I always like hearing all that stuff. And I love all the just like the designs of like anything from the Absolute series stuff. Yeah. They just look like, I don't know, from my limited knowledge of it anyway, but just like over the top, cool, like just really pushed designs. It's really cool.
Yeah, that's a lot. It's nice to see like a great working relationship with the artist and the writer and how art forward it is. Like the conversation that's always surrounding Absolute is like, yeah, the idea is cool, but like, look at this, like, look at what they're doing. And like every book, no book feels phoned in. No book feels like it was like on a deadline, And I think that's a big approach that like Scott and Josh and associated teams that are working on these books have kind of taken to heart, which is just like, yo, if that's gotta wait, let it wait. You know, there's no rush here. Like some of these books have to come out. You know, Batman next issue has to come out. And when I say Batman, I mean like main Batman. Absolute Batman does sell insane numbers, but people will wait for Absolute Batman. You know, but when Batman is delayed, comic shops suffer. So put that shit out. But Martian Manhunter, you need another week, you need another month. Take your time. You know, just make sure it looks amazing because most folks are buying the trades anyway. Collectors are buying the individual issues, but you know that's a whole other ball of wax because then there's the variant cover game and the blind bag situation, which is exactly what it sounds like. You might get a sketch cover in there, so spend $600 on this issue. That cover price is $3.99.
Damn, that's what you're paying for that?
Well, no, you shouldn't be. But if you missed it, or if you are a collector, you may be involved in the like aftermarket situation.
Oh, gotcha.
But yeah, some of these, some of them they go for high prices, man, and it's yeah, and it's not a bubble, and it definitely won't hurt the industry.
Smooth sailing from here.
Yeah, it's nothing but green, baby. Trends and gimmicks are always a good idea, and they never diminish the product. There's actually a theory out there. It's like I think it's the like everyone is 12 theory. Where like everyone you're dealing with is a 12-year-old. Everyone has the intellect, the social awareness, the mental acuity, and the like just the emotional maturity of a 12-year-old. And when you know that, and when you think that, you're like, oh, I can navigate the world now.
Yeah.
Like everyone is a 12-year-old.
That makes sense. That makes so much sense on the highway. Why there's so much.
So many 12-year-olds being like, "Yo, whoa! I just got my license.
Whoa!
5 years early.
I'm just gonna go in and out of all these people. I'm not gonna use my blinker.
Yeah,
I'm gonna cut all these people off.
Right. Then you beep, and they're like, "Whoa,
whoa!" Or they don't hear you because they're already gone.
Because they can't. Yeah, because they don't. I don't hear anything. I have no shame. I like
people at the grocery store. They don't know. They don't know what they're buying.
Yeah.
They're 12.
Let me just put I'm going to buy some more Gushers. Let me put my cart perpendicular to
and just leave. Yep. God. Insanity.
And then when you talk to me, I'm like, what the hell is this person doing? What is this? Is this actor trying to get their SAG card in my movie? Because that's how everyone acts. Everyone acts like the cameras are on them and that it's their movie all the time. And when you interrupt being, excuse me, you can't urinate in this space. They're like, whoa, okay, Mr. Laurence Olivier. I wouldn't make that reference today. Mr. Timothy Chalamet over here trying to get his SAG card. Excuse me, I have to buy Gushers.
All of them.
All of them, because that's what I eat.
When the last time I had a Gusher? Those are delicious.
They're amazing. Delicious. I have them in my studio. My wife makes sure I have a healthy supply of Gushers for the team.
Nice.
They have Rice Krispies treats and Gushers, and I'm like, this is not a good idea. I don't eat them every day. I try not to, but they are great.
I have them both in my house as well.
Really?
I can attest.
Because you have children as well.
Fantastic. Yeah. I do eat the Gushers.
Good. I mean, you must.
Rice Krispie treats, not so much. Once in a while, I'll have those.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, sometimes I'll eat one. Like I'll be like, yeah, and then I take one bite and I go, I shouldn't have eaten any of this. Like
I shouldn't eat any more.
This is a mistake. Like
it's
I
so
took
much
one
sugar.
bite, and like, ugh. Like, I love this. Like my brain is like, yeah, and my heart is like, stop. And then I'm like, don't throw it out. That's a $4 Rice Krispies.
It is. It is a pricey Rice Krispie treat.
Right? What the hell is happening?
Not like the homemade ones.
we should also at some point on this show talk about the fruit snacks we can't have anymore, and it's a crime. And I'm like, I don't know how else to excise this problem I have with it, because just make more, please. Like, I don't understand.
Like Shark Bites?
Shark Bites.
Shark Bites are my number one.
Yeah, number one.
People had
bring
Shark
it
Bites,
back.
and you got a white shark.
Yeah,
the white ones
in your bag. Holy crap!
Yeah, and
You're
of course
showing that to everyone.
Their equivalent. I want to say it was they were jets. I think it was Jet Fighters or something like that. But like same company. I think it was Betty Crocker who made the jet shaped shark bites. There's another one that I will salivate anytime I think about it, and I know we've actually had some doings with this character before. Apparently, I'm obsessed with them. Garfield fruit snacks. little lesser known, but they were unbelievable.
Really?
They were in
really
the shape.
good?
Yeah, they were delicious,
I
and they were
remember
also
the shape.
They were shapes.
But
They
I
were
don't
shapes of
remember
all the
eating
characters.
them. Like, I don't remember the taste.
They
But
had
I
to come
remember
in those.
seeing them.
They taste like
They
lasagna.
had to come in a foil pouch because they were so like juicy, or they sweat. I don't know, but like Nermal and Odie and Garfield, like they were all in like complicated shapes of those characters, and they all just meshed together in that foil pouch. But I think they made either like they made share. It was like red. I think it was just red ones. There was nothing. There's no other change. It wasn't like, with shark bites, like blue or opaque or
They're orange or red
orange
or green.
but no, Garfield red. And they were
red.
unbelievable.
Man.
I don't know. I can't find anything even close. This just it dogs me to this day. Same with shark bites though. Betty Crocker still makes fruit snacks, and they're okay. They're better than like the normal ones. They're better than the ones that like usurped the fruit snack overall, but nothing compares to shark bites. I'd take just shark bites. Yeah, there they are. They made orange ones too, and those were equally delicious.
Yeah, I definitely didn't have any.
Oh man, they were unbelievable.
I didn't have any of these either. I was picturing something else.
I've seen
I
people
never
like
had
I want to
these.
say. Yeah. I want to say like Dinosaur Dracula or somebody. I've seen somebody like eat these. Like they ordered them off of eBay and were like, here we go. And I'm like,
Yeah.
stop.
I'm going to eat
You're
them on the
gonna
toilet.
die.
Yep.
Let's get them on eBay.
Yeah.
Just
That's the
$48.
$19.91.
Just $48 for the box.
just
For
the
an empty
box?
Empty
Empty
box.
box?
How dare
What are you
they?
doing? At that point, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What?
Can I sell trash like this on eBay? Like I've been
Yes.
going through boxes of stuff that I've had since like there's one box that I had stuff from like elementary school and like middle school and like just all the eras. I have some of it is legitimate trash. Like this. A lot of it is legitimate trash, but like if I find something like this, should I be selling it on eBay? Can
Bring
I
it in
actually make
and-
money like this?
We'll do like a...
Theoretically.
what is it? The Antiques Roadshow? We'll do like
Yes.
an Antiques Roadshow.
Antiques Roadshow
for
with all
your
my
like
Antiques
90s
forgotten
trash.
shit.
Yeah.
I have like these doom boxes of like shit that I didn't know what to do with. I had menus from college of like there's this place called T Sam's. It was amazing Mexican food right near my campus, and they don't exist anymore. So when I saw the menu, I was actually like my heart like skipped a beat, and I was like, oh my God. And then I was like, I don't know why I kept this. It's really stupid, but I have to throw it away now. But before I throw it away, I took a picture and I sent it to like all my roommates, and they were like,
Nice.
oh my God, T Sam's, like this is worth money. And I'm like, no, it's not. But
You're like $10 right now. Whoever
$10,
says
I'll
it first.
send it to you.
Yeah,
Look it up
I'll
right
mail
now.
it to
Look
you.
it up on
There's so
eBay.
much stuff that I'm like, I'm taking pictures of this shit and sending it to people and being like, oh my God, look at this thing that I have from
Yeah.
forever ago.
You should just unsolicited mail them to things. Like just be like, I don't want this
Just
to be
mail
thrown
them
out, but
shit.
I'll just mail it to my friend and just without letting them know ahead of time.
I should start doing
Right? And just see what they
Instead
do
of
with it.
sending them a photo, I'll send them an
Yes,
actual
just send them the
object.
actual object. Just
Yeah.
mail it to them.
All right, let's talk about some horror movies. We were just talking about the horror element from Green Arrow.
That's
And
right.
AJ, you saw Obsession over the weekend?
Yeah, over the weekend. So I was gonna go to an 11 o'clock show, but all the seats were taken on Sunday night. And I was like, Sunday night, it was the Sunday before Memorial Day. So like a lot more people are going to be seeing, a late night show maybe on Sunday. But the 11 o'clock show was like sold out pretty much. So we went at 11:30. And when I got the tickets, we were like the only ones in the theater, and we got there and it was packed. And I was just like, wow, this is crazy. And we have friends that live in LA, and they said that they wanted to go see it this weekend and they couldn't see it anywhere because it was sold out everywhere.
That's crazy.
Wow.
So like people are flocking to this, and I really
Yeah.
think it is the best horror film that I've seen since It Follows. It's like in the same vein of like you watch it and afterwards you're just like, there's so much to unpack here about like it's straight horror, but there's also like undertones of like mental illness and like taking advantage of people who are mentally ill or unwell, and like there's it like gives me tingles because I'm like, it's just I don't know. Do you know the premise of it at all? Oh, so it's like a classic like monkey's paw, like be careful what you wish for. This guy just really likes a girl that he works with, and he makes a wish that she likes him more than anyone. And it just like it starts creepy, and then it just like derails so fast into like just absolute the things that are happening. Like there's one scene where like he's like trying to leave or something, and she just starts screaming at the top of her lungs, like, and it's like, what do you do in a situation where someone's screaming at you like that? You want it to stop, like, and it just like it made me feel like. It's also like it says a lot about, I think the people who wrote it like have small children, because it's a lot of like the emotional manipulation of someone who wants you to be around them all the time. Like, what are they doing to get you to stay with them? And like it's screaming at the top of your lungs, or like getting really loud in like a public situation, and you're like, no, just sit, like I'll do whatever you want, like just stay with me, like be normal. It's so good. I recommend everyone and anyone go see it.
So I was trying to remember the director's name, but he's built his career. He did a lot of like YouTube shorts.
Yeah, Curry Barker.
Curry Barker, that's it.
Thank you.
And I actually watched a short that he made last night called The Chair. It's also like, it's good. And you can see little, oh, I did not expect him to look like that.
You didn't expect.
I don't know what I expected.
But not an extra from Gattaca? Yeah.
It's so specific.
I don't know.
Yeah, Curry Barker.
I guess I expected him to be older.
Oh my God. I've seen this guy's like TikTok videos.
Yeah.
I didn't know him from Adam, but I did know, like, I recognize his face. He's got a very distinctive face.
The Chair is great. You see a lot of, so in Obsession, there's a lot of points where the main character, the female main character, like has to do like these snap in, like she'll be like normal, and then she'll start like screaming, and then she'll go back to normal. Like she does these snap transitions like so well, and you see some of that in The Chair, where like this woman who's she just like, she gets up and she starts screaming, and then she just smiles and lays down and goes back to bed, and it's so just uncanny that you're like, ugh. makes you wince. The Chair is only like 30 minutes, I think, maybe less than that. So if you can find it somewhere online, you probably can find it. Since I did last night, I was going to watch Milk and Cereal, but that's an hour long, so it was already too late for me. I'll probably be watching that later tonight.
So between him and Backrooms, which is directed by Kane Parsons, or Kane Pixels, which is his like YouTube name, it's two young directors who are known from like YouTube or TikTok or any of those kind of things. So Backrooms, do you guys know about Backrooms? Like I didn't know too much about like where it was generated from. I think like a lot of people I thought early on that Kane Parsons was the one who created it, but it's like it's all from just like a single image, a photograph from like the early 2000s or something like that. There's like a furniture store that was moving locations, and there's just this like weird, it looks like Backrooms, just this weird empty set of rooms, and it just looks like kind of sad and depressing. And somebody posted that picture on 4chan with just like a kind of a creepypasta 2-paragraph thing of like, imagine being stuck in this, and it's just this endless maze of these types of rooms, that kind of thing. And then from there's like a wiki of like people making lore about it and stuff. And then Kane Parsons a few years ago took that and built out his own lore and was making short films or short like YouTube shorts And it's all that sort of like found footage, first person aspect. And he's creating all the rooms in, 3D software and stuff and all that. So like the movie is based or is from his lore or whatever. And like, so he's grabbing elements from there. But it looks interesting. It looks creepy. It's, I'm very curious just about like that, where this story's going and whatever. I was watching a couple of interviews of like, he kind of wants to do like to continue the story a little bit across a couple of movies or whatever. But I just thought it was like a unique thing for a movie or property, whatever, where it's sort of just generated. It just like was generated online. There wasn't really any ownership to it. It's just sort of like people can build this lore. It's like this community sort of like lore that you can build into it. And these are like his contributions to it or his like telling of it. So there's not really like, I think there's already like discourse, like people are annoyed that it doesn't include certain stuff and whatever, and that's going to happen with whatever. It's fucking annoying. But like, it's just it's a different type of entity or something where it's like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's like community storytelling, and then somebody's sort of like taking it to, I don't know, maybe it's like a fable kind of thing, where there's just sort of like people can just like build out the story how they want to and then take it to this next level. But it still exists online too. So I mean, it's not like if somebody wanted to make something Backrooms based or build their own lore from it, it's sort of built for that, where this like it's this endless, literally like an endless pocket dimension type thing, or however you want to define what the Backrooms is. So there's no rules to it. So like if you wanted to just make something of your own and that exists, like there's nobody to say like, well, that's not what Ken Parsons. It doesn't matter. He technically doesn't own Backrooms or whatever the legal thing is now. I'm sure there's a different thing, but like it's just like an interesting. I was trying to think of other things like that, and I couldn't really think of like a comparison.
I got an example for you that's like so hyper specific, and also like I think it's applicable to this, and it's the Slender Man.
Okay, yeah.
Right? Because like the Slender Man was just like an idea of this tall, faceless thing in the corner, and then there was like a web series that took that idea and ran with it called, I think, Marble Hornets.
Yeah.
And then there was a Slender Man game, and I want to say they made a Slender Man movie, and there was also
I think so, yeah.
There were some girls who like murdered their friend and blamed the Slender Man, and that was its own story. That is a real thing that happened,
in
but
real
also
life?
It was in real life.
What's crazy is they didn't kill her. They stabbed her.
No, that's right. They stabbed her like a lot,
freaking times. Yeah,
yeah, and she didn't die. That's right.
Yeah,
she,
insane.
But and they have no remorse. It's just like but like that, I think, was also another story that someone like made into a movie or at least a series, and it's just like. Yeah, I think it all originated from like a 4chan post or actually I think it was a creepypasta.
It's a creepypasta. Yeah.
A creepypasta.
So it's like, who owns that? Like, what's that? And what's the lore behind
the
it?
idea? Where did the idea come from?
Yeah, where'd the idea come from, and who
started the Slender Man?
If it's a community concept, like a creepypasta, where it's like, here's this thing, and then people add to it, like who owns that concept? Like nobody, and who says what is lore?
Right.
Nobody. Yeah. It's just whatever you want. Yeah.
It's really interesting. It's a different, like the creepypasta stuff. There's a lot of that where it's on like Reddit. They've got like their own subreddit and stuff where there's a lot like that, where it's kind of built in a way where like people can contribute to the world or whatever and like add these stories that all just kind of fit under some umbrella of like one central theme or character or whatever. Yeah. That's a really good example of that. I forgot about Slender Man. But a weird thing, I know I mentioned it briefly before, but like a weird thing that was weird and fucking annoying is like this like fake rumor discourse thing about between both of the directors, because they're young and like from YouTube, there's like, well, there's no way they directed the actual movie. Like they had like ghost directors do it. And there's like it's such an annoying thing of just being like someone accusing them of that. And then like now they have to kind of come out and defend it. And if they do that, then it's like, oh, why are you being so It's like,
yeah,
so fucking annoying.
Proof is on the accuser, by the way. Like,
yeah, exactly.
But it costs nothing to be provocative and to just bring up something for no good reason, or just to like call into question any number of things. It's why there are more moon landing deniers today than there ever were when the moon actually was landed on. Like,
Right.
It's just like,
if it was landed on.
oh, right. Yeah, of course. I don't want to give it even any oxygen. If you think that the landed on the moon, you're stupid.
Oh, you think the moon is real?
Right. Oh, the moon. The moon. Okay.
Oh, you believe in the moon?
So condescending.
That's where we are. Yeah, no, exactly.
Oh, you believe in the moon?
Oh,
the thing in the sky?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
By the way, AJ, you should know that Obsession actually apparently surpassed The Mandalorian and Grogu on Wednesday at the box office.
Ooh.
Wow.
Couldn't have seen that coming.
That's
Good.
crazy.
Yeah, good.
It's,
No one's excited about I was so into The Mandalorian as a show in the first 2 seasons.
Yep.
I was so invested. I was so excited every time a new episode came out. And I haven't bothered to see this movie yet. I mean, I'm going to take my kids. It's going to happen. But also, like, I'm busy packing. When are we going to... It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
But I did make the time to go see Obsession.
Right. Which proves
Because
where your priorities are.
yeah.
I would much rather see a really good scary movie than a mediocre film about, a little alien who's gonna hit puberty or whatever it's about.
Yeah. That's right.
Sal saw it. Does Grogu hit puberty? Like, how soon in the
Is
movie
that-
does Grogu
Like a
hit
dump
puberty?
truck.
Like a friggin' dump truck.
Yeah, dump trucks and stuff.
Yeah, dump trucks and stuff. Yeah. No. If you're like, I'll spoil that movie a little bit by just saying, if you were waiting like so many Simpsons fans for Maggie to say his first words, like Grogu don't talk in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
He does build a hut though, and they go into a whole
Alright.
thing apparently where like that's something that Yoda's species does. Like Dave Filoni talked to George Lucas and was like, "Tell me more about Yoda and the hut building." And apparently, like that's compulsive. And I love the idea
It's
of
like making
Yoda
a nest for a little bird.
yeah, like it's like, oh, if you put mud and sticks in front of me, I'm gonna build a hut and I'm gonna live in it. And I love the idea of like Yoda in like on Coruscant being like, oh man, if only there were some mud and sticks right now.
Like in the
I'd
Jedi
make such a
Council, the
hut.
seats all just a mess of
I can
straw
make
and
such a
mud and
good
shit.
Yeah,
Yoda, clean up your goddamn.
somebody made a joke like about how like the Jedi like doing like negotiations, and somebody mentions like we're dealing with Jabba the Hutt. They're like, what? Somebody say Hutt? They're like, yeah, Jabba the Hutt, and he's like, oh, okay.
Okay.
How much for this hut?
Yeah, what?
What now?
We don't need to pay for huts. I got you covered. No, we're talking about a
Give me some
freaking
good
racism.
sticks.
But yeah, it's weird. It's a fun little movie. I had no problem with it. I mean, it's entirely innocuous. It does nothing. There are and there are
So
4
my kids are
Babu
gonna
Fricks
love
in-
it.
I think they'll stand on their heads. Let me tell you.
It'll be just like the Ninja Turtles.
Yes, there are 4 Babu Fricks in it, and they don't say "hey," which like is like what's the point?
Yeah.
If you're gonna put Babu Frick in there, a character I hate so much that I wanted to buy him when I saw him at Disney World one time. Like they sold him, and I was like, I'm not gonna buy it. Yeah, so stupid.
That's weird that they would like quadruple the
Why do you hate him so much? I had to look
Babu
him
Frick
up.
factor.
Because he's okay. I love the fact that he's like an obvious puppet. Like there's a moment where all the Babu Fricks fall into a river, and they clearly just took all the puppets and just threw them into the. Like, they're just like
He's
like
so
they look
cute.
like you threw a doll in there. Yeah, no, they are cute in a like weird,
Yeah.
scrotum ET kind of way.
Oh no.
But it's
that
just
one,
like
yeah.
you know what it is. He shows up out of effing nowhere, and he goes, "Hey!" Like that's his catchphrase. And then
Hey.
an hour into the movie, when like all the characters you couldn't care less about show up at the 0 hour to save the day, like I don't know, Oscar Isaac's ex-girlfriend shows up, and she's like, "I'm in the movie too again." And then Babu Frick shows up in her cockpit. He's like, and he says the same "hey."
Hey.
Hey,
They
just
didn't
look
even
straight into
bother
the
to
camera.
re-record it.
They clearly didn't. That's the same. Hey, I will take a test. Someone who's an audiophile rip both audios. They will line up perfectly. But yeah, same hey. And he looks like he was composited in. Like it looks like they had the movie and they went like,
They probably couldn't get him on the day. He's probably busy.
yeah, he's such a
he was
deviant.
swamped.
But I know that like they're shooting that scene and they got her in the cockpit and they got it done and they're in the timeline and they're like, you know what would make the scene 25% better? Get a little Boba Frick in there. Because he looks like he looks like they superimposed him in there. Like they're like you could see like green artifact around him going like he just pops up. There's
Just
no
gotta go
floor
and
where
floats
he
in.
is. He's this tall and he's like his whole body is in the shot. I'm like, no. But by that point, by the way, when he shows back up, I laughed and clapped my hands because I was like, oh, Star Wars is dead. Star Wars is over. Everything that I liked about Star Wars is completely stupid and broken and gone. And he's like, hey, and I'm like, hey.
So that's pretty much it for this week, folks. This is when I say this, and then we talk for another like 15 minutes.
Yep.
Yep.
If you're watching us on YouTube, give us a like, leave a comment.
Just gonna plug Obsession.
Yeah, check
Go
it out.
see it. Check it
Yeah.
out. It's
Do
so
it.
good. We might see it again.
Ooh,
It's that good.
Dang.
that's a ringing endorsement.
I
Yeah.
know.
Seeing a movie twice.
We watched Raw Deal this week on Bad Movie Night.
That movie, I am a huge Arnold Schwarzenegger fan,
Mm-hmm.
and I've only seen Raw Deal once because it was unforgivable.
It's crazy. It's
I've
crazy.
never even heard of it. So Schwarzenegger.
But there's like the two that I hadn't seen was Raw Deal and Red Heat from him.
Man, I don't like either of those movies.
But it's right in the pocket of like all the crazy, like it was Terminator, Commando.
Terminator, Predator, Commando.
Yeah.
Like he is making all these Conan. Like this
Right,
is his renaissance.
Yep.
And he also made a movie with Jim Belushi.
I think that was Red Heat, right?
That's Red Heat.
Okay, it was, yeah.
Wait,
So,
oh, man, what's Raw Deal?
exactly.
Because Red Heat is the one where he's Russian, and that one
Yes.
sucks.
Right.
Let me show you.
Okay.
Let me
You met
show
it
you.
back.
Raw Deal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Raw
I
Deal.
don't like Raw Deal.
He looks like that for 15 minutes in the movie. The rest of the movie, he's got slick back hair because he's like undercover and
Yes.
he's just wearing different suits like the whole time. I couldn't tell you details of the plot. Like we're watching the movie several points in there. I'm like, I don't know what is happening. And also too, several times I'm like, who got the raw deal? I don't understand who got the raw deal.
Oh no, this movie was called something else, and they were like, "That's too
Who
long a
got the
title."
wrong deal?
Yeah, it wasn't until after we watched the movie, Justin brings up the movie poster, and like the tagline is like, he got a raw deal, and now something.
They're gonna pay.
And it wasn't until that point I realized, I was like, oh, the fucking raw deal. So the premise of the movie, it starts out, he's like a deputy sheriff, whatever guy in like some like backwoods, like in the middle of like Vermont or something like that, where it's just like a small town, woody area, whatever. And like, he's a deputy guy. He's chasing down like a fake cop. He blows up the dude's fucking motorcycle. He's having a great time, right? You come home and like his wife is miserable. She's drunk in the middle of the day, and she does some exposition that they've been stuck there for 5 years.
A raw deal.
Right? Like it's so you don't know. This is the only scene that
Nobody
she's
gives
in.
him a raw deal.
She's drunk and like she's baking a cake. It looks like she's spreading diarrhea on like a couch pillow.
Yeah.
It's terrible looking. It's an actual cake, but it looks disgusting. And she says like, we've been stuck here for 5 years. It's miserable. I'm like stuck in the middle of nowhere. And he got kicked out of the FBI for something, right? And that's kind of the only premise, and that's why he's there, or they're there. And then the dad from Christmas Story is like his buddy, calls him up and says like, I need help doing whatever. So until we watch the whole movie, I can't fucking figure out what the raw deal is. From like the movie poster, I'm like, oh, the raw deal was 5 years before the movie started when he got kicked out of the FBI. Like that
Oh my
was the
God.
raw deal.
He's still suffering blowback from the Raw Deal.
Right. But like he was fine. He was
The raw
happy
deal was
there.
before the movie
Yeah.
even started.
He was blowing up. Yeah, there it is. The system gave him a raw deal. Nobody gives him a raw deal.
Nobody.
Like, so the system kicked him out of the FBI for some reason or whatever. It didn't matter.
Mhm.
But like he had no accountability. Like he blew up this fake cop's motorcycle in the middle of whatever, and they were like cheering him, and they just took the guy to jail. And he's like, okay, I'm off to do something else. I'm gonna go home in the middle of the day. and then he has to like go undercover, off the books, for this business guy who's a bad guy. Like I don't know what's happening. You just can't tell who's motivated. What the bad guy, you don't really know why he's a bad guy. Those kind of things.
Yeah.
But not a good movie. Not a good use of like prime action star Arnold.
Yeah.
He's just like, it felt like he wanted to try to do something a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's just wearing suits and he's smoking cigars the whole time. He's only like showing the goods like 2 times in there where you like see like, it's Arnold. You want to see like his big muscles and stuff. Like that's what he is.
Yeah.
And like, but it felt like there wasn't any of that. And like his action stuff was really just shooting guns and chasing people in cars and stuff. So it's just like a waste of a movie in general too, but like of Arnold. And
Right, like this should have been a cool
He
movie.
was
Like,
trying
this
so hard.
honestly,
he
the
would love to
highlight,
make a movie like this now. It's not fair.
the 2 highlights were the dad from Christmas Story, like recognizing him in it, and for like 5 seconds was like a police chief guy was from Home Alone, the Angels with what's the name of the movie that he watches?
Oh yeah. The filthy animal movie.
The guy was like, you filthy animals. It was that guy was like a police chief. He had like one line
awesome.
in it. Me just we're like, that's the guy. That was like the most exciting part of the movie, probably.
Yeah.
I'll give you the count of 10.
Yeah.
To get you ugly, yellow, no good.
No good keister off my property.
There we go.
But still super fun to watch those kind of things. And again, another example of a like movie I hadn't seen. I wasn't going to tune into Raw Deal at any point in my life at this point. So it was fun to just knock that off the
bucket
list of movies that I
Knock
wasn't
it
going to
off
watch.
the
But
list.
now I know what that movie's about. Kind of. Now I've seen that movie. I don't know what it was about.
No, you have seen it.
Still no
That's
idea.
all that matters.
Yeah.
What is the raw deal?
Who got the war?
Who got the raw deal? You.
Yeah. The people
Truly, the
who watched
viewer
it.
gets the raw deal in this scenario.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
We like you. We hope you like us.
Was it fuck, I forgot. Totally fucking forgot what it was. Was it a movie? What's a movie? Now a movie is what's
It's like music, but you see it.
That's fucking great.